Okay, now that Minnesota has their suspect in the shooting of an assassination and murder, an attempted assassination and attempted murder, by the way, of senators and their spouses, the suspect's in custody finally. Great. We can stop worrying about that nut bar, right? Here's the thing. Minnesota's not really close to Idaho. It's like 18, 20-hour drive. But when people go nuts like this, they come here. Like, lots of nutters come here to Idaho. Because we're the least regulated state. But it's like least regulated in the ways that they want it to be least regulated and not in like the whatever. Whatever. I'm glad that nut didn't come here to join all his weirdo friends. Thank you for that. Good job getting in Minnesota. Let's see how this trial goes. They caught him on game cam, laying down in a cornfield. Anyway, we're going to talk about Salt Lake now, because this, I think, is going to be an interesting case. Like, that sounds like a weird thing coming out of my mouth. I'm sitting here in my jammies talking to you from my studio. I get it. Okay? But it's going to be interesting, and this is who I am. So get your fucking information somewhere else. I don't care. I want to talk about this because it's crazy. It's a 4-person story about the No King's Day protest. We're going to call them Rifleman, Victim, and Peacekeeper A and B. Usually they'll just be the peacekeepers. So the peacekeepers were acting as security for this No King's Day protest. I'm not sure if that's an official capacity, if they were hired, if they somehow contracted with the organizer of the city or whatever to be there. The police chief didn't even make that clear in his statement. He called them security, but most other stories that I've seen call them peacekeepers. So they are wearing bright neon vests and have guns. They see Rifleman ducking behind the wall suspiciously and notice that he has a rifle. That's why we call him that. So they approach him. He pulls the gun up into what is described as a shooting position. It doesn't say anything about his finger position or anything that's going on. Don't get into that yet. Okay. So he pulls the gun up and starts running into the crowd away from these peacekeepers. Peacekeeper A opens fire and shoots 3 times, once hitting Rifleman, twice hitting Victim. Rifleman is then arrested. He is being charged with the murder of Victim, and Victim passed today. Peacekeepers are in custody, but it's unclear if they're going to be charged with any crimes. And I think that there are some very important questions that are not answered. First of all, were they hired? And what is their training like? Because these people have loaded firearms in a crowd. They opened fire at a protest. They opened fire. The police chief did not say whether or not Rifleman's weapon was loaded. No one else has said that Rifleman's weapon was loaded. They did say that there was also a backpack found and a gas mask, but again, no ammunition mentioned. I feel like that would be mentioned. That would typically be mentioned if it would typically be mentioned. If this was some guy with a gun just being a dick to be a dick, like, yes, he should have been arrested and gone to jail. You do not run into a crowd holding a weapon in a shooting position and make that face because I wasn't there. I don't know. It's been described as a shooting position. You don't go running into a crowd of people like that and not go to jail. I mean, at this point, politically, it's terroristic, absolutely. Loaded or not. But he didn't open fire, and they did, and victim is now dead. And depending on their training or the lack of training that they've had, and the authority that they were wielding, given by who we don't know, themselves, maybe, there are just so many questions. And normally, just like, wait around and wait for a real news person to tell you, right? But I'm getting in arguments about this with people in a group I'm in that we discuss changes that need to happen in the state. We plan events. We organize things. I say we, it's mostly they. Starting to get into disagreements because I think it is much, much too soon to be calling the peacekeepers heroes. Maybe there's a possibility that they saved a lot of lives in theory, but they killed a guy, and we don't know that they saved anyone's lives. I just think, guys, can we all please calm the fuck down? Can we just all please calm the fuck down? Also, quit cosplay cop, guys. Christy Gnome has just, it's like, if you're not a cop, if you're not an ICE agent, if you're not, just got really distracted by a giant bug. Stop cosplaying cops. It's not cops and robbers. This is not the wild fucking West anymore. Quit it. Okay? Hopefully, for the mental health of these people, they get help, first of all, either way. But, like, hopefully that rifle was loaded and that person was actually intending on doing damage. Because if that's not the case, especially if that's not the case and these are self-appointed peacekeepers. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. To open fire in a crowd like that and kill a bystander. Because everybody's on such fucking high alert. And everybody thinks that everybody's out to get them. And it is everyone. It's not everyone. It's not everyone. Do you know that there are people who just don't even know what's going on right now? Like, that, there's still people who are asking what the protests are about. And that is surprising to me. Because holy fuck, things are getting bad. Things are getting bad. I don't know how you can ignore it this hard. I'm sorry. If that's you, then that's okay. If that's what you need to do. But, like, things are bad. And the rest of us are getting pretty stressed out. And, you know, fucking shot by peacekeepers out here. So we could sure use some help. We could sure use some really great candidates in the midterm elections. Hint, hint, that's you. We gotta fix this, guys. We gotta fix this. What the fuck are we doing? What the fuck are we doing as a nation? Just calm the fuck down. Or get pissed, I guess. Do whatever you gotta fucking do. But we can't keep going like this. Ooh, fucking moth.